The workers were preparing to cover the murals on the wall with paint, but unexpectedly the next moment the murals on the wall suddenly moved, and one of the workers was immediately sucked in. Then, a large number of two-dimensional creatures slowly turned around. This horrifying scene stunned the workers. Clara hurriedly led the workers to escape, but the two-dimensional creatures chased them relentlessly. On the way, the doctor remembered something, and he quickly reminded Clara who had escaped to the warehouse. In the eyes of two-dimensional creatures, human footprints and the like are the complete image of three-dimensional creatures, so their contact may be an attempt to communicate. Then the question arises, do they know that they are hurting three-dimensional creatures? Perhaps they cannot understand that three-dimensional creatures must maintain a three-dimensional form to survive. So Clara must find a way to communicate with those two-dimensional creatures to determine whether they are malicious or unintentional. Clara immediately started a conversation with the sonic screwdriver, and the other party quickly responded. After being deciphered by TARDIS, the transmitted information was translated into 22, which turned out to be the number of a worker. Everyone immediately looked at him in confusion, but unexpectedly, Clara seemed to have discovered something the next second, and the worker did not move at this moment. But when Clara moved her observation angle, she suddenly discovered an incredible scene. The workers had been turned into two-dimensional. It seemed that the two-dimensional creatures had no kindness at all. Clara could only lead everyone to escape again. The next moment, everyone hid in the underground tunnel, but found that the door handle had turned into a two-dimensional plane. It seemed that the two-dimensional creatures had blocked their way. If they want to get out, they can only leave along the long passage, but it is still several kilometers away. At this moment, the doctor suddenly found that the energy of TARDIS was absorbed again in large quantities. At the same time, a pair of black hands appeared from behind them, and another worker was attacked by the two-dimensional creature on the spot. The doctor suddenly understood that this was another stage of the two-dimensional creatures coming to the three-dimensional world. They had constructed a dimensional matrix in this area, and now they could show up. A large number of two-dimensional creatures broke out of the ground. Clara and the other two hurriedly continued to escape, but the door was still locked. The doctor quickly handed over a dimensional restoration instrument. Objects that were converted into two dimensions could be turned back into three dimensions after being scanned by it. In order to prevent the two-dimensional creatures from chasing her, Clara deliberately converted the door lock into two dimensions again. But what she didn't know was that the two-dimensional creatures could now convert two-dimensional objects into three-dimensional objects. But in this crisis, the doctor can't help at all. At this moment, the workers suddenly start to snatch the TARDIS, so the TARDIS falls into an unknown area, and the communication link between Clara and the doctor is also interrupted.